Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the webinar this afternoon on Thesaurus Connect. So what is Thesaurus Connect? Now, Thesaurus itself remains a desktop application, and what Connect is offering you is a backup to the cloud, where once you've linked a company to Connect, Thesaurus Connect, you will be able to back up all your data in the cloud. And the advantages of this is you have a safe and secure backup, any of which can be restored down to your desktop at any time. Also, with the advent of the new Data Protection Act, the GDPR, coming in May next year, if you are accountants or do payroll for other people, they will be advised to ask you where their payroll data is stored. So you can assure them that it's stored in a safe and secure location in the cloud. The data center is offered by Microsoft Azure. So once you've purchased a license for Connect, you'll get an email with your license key and you'll input it into Thesaurus. So the first thing we have here is our Connect label there, and this is the control panel here. So this will give you a listing of all the companies that you've linked to Connect. Also here is the employee self-service offering. So what is this? The employee self-service means that you can invite your employees to BrightPay Connect. So this is a web-based portal for the employees where once they have connected, they can log in to the smartphone, PC, tablet or Mac, and they can access their pay slips, P60s, they can have an overview of the P45, any contracts of employment or company handbooks. So it's an all-in-one HR solution as well. So not alone is it offering you the backup, the ability to share the data with the employees, their own payroll documentation. You can also share this data with clients or within other departments within a company by setting up other users. So the benefits are the safe and secure backup, the employee self-service, and the ability to share the data with maybe if you're a single employer with your accountant or with other departments within your own company, or if you're an accountant, you can add your client to Connect, and thereafter you no longer have to email print pay slips and send them reports. They'll be able to log in and run their own reports. Now, your clients or whomever cannot change anything in the payroll. That can only be done on the desktop application of Thesaurus. So just to be sure, you don't have to worry about anyone going in and changing data once you add them as a user. So in here I have the employee self-service option, and this allows you to decide when the employees are going to receive their notifications. So if you complete your payroll or finalise it, say on a Monday, you can pick and choose the date that the employees will receive their pay slips. It could be on the pay date, after the pay date, or before the pay date. So we just say before the pay date, one day before, and there you go. So you can literally decide when they're actually going to receive the data or their payroll documentation, be it pay slips or P60s or any other documentation that you want to upload into their portal, like HR documentation. And here you can manually synchronize your data or launch the company. Right, so if we go in here, we'll see some of our employees. So any employees that were set up on the payroll itself will appear here. So if your client wanted to log in, they'll get an overview of the employees that are on this particular company. And here you can send invitation emails to the employees to invite them to Connect. So if we go into Joe Adams there, I've now put on my employees hat. So I have logged in as Joe Adams. I've logged on to my smartphone and I see all my notifications. So my pay slips are there and a contract of employment. Now, if I go into Joe's documents, I'm still logged in as Joe, you'll see all his pay slips are there. Further on down here, they're all listed there. So he can click in there and he can take a look at his payslip and he can export this out as a PDF or PDF document. Now I've actually clicked on that, so it's going to take a minute to export out. So he can literally open it or save it. So that's his PDF document. We receive everything here on our self-service app now. So it's actually very, very handy. Let's see any other documents. In here in the HR resources there, you'll see there's a contract of employment, a leave request form, general company information, and there are other items that can be added in here. So in the next one here we have the calendar, and this is Joe's calendar. So this is all the leave that Joe has taken for the year, okay? And the employee can go in and request annual leave. If the HR department is set up as a user, they can actually sign off on it. So you'll see here, oh, this is all Joe's leave. So in May he was on annual leave. In here there was another person there, Maria Woods, was on sick leave. So this is an overall calendar for the employees. Now they can sign in as a single employee or as themselves to have an overview of the calendar. In here, if Joe changed his address or his telephone number, he can simply type it in here, and that will sync back to Thesaurus on the desktop. So any change of address or emergency contact details can be changed here. Now he wouldn't have access to his PRSI or his PPS number won't be changed here, his date of birth. They remain on the payroll itself. Okay, so he can go in and manage his own account. So if he's forgotten his password, he can go in and reset his password. So if you connect your employees to Thesaurus Connect, they won't be ringing you looking for the passwords because they can actually manage their own account once they've been invited. So what happens is you'll send them an invitation email, they'll receive it with a link, they'll click in there and they'll be able to access their pay slips and anything else that they want vis-a-vis their employment. Okay, so going out of there, the next thing are the reports. So this is very handy if you want to share information with other departments or with your accountant, or if you're a bureau, you can share it with your client. So I can run a report. So I've logged in as the client, I go in here and pick the report I want, and I can export this out as an Excel spreadsheet or a PDF document. In here is the calendar again. It'll give an overview of all the employees that are on the various leave types. Okay, we'll see here Joe Adams on unpaid leave, Maria is on annual leave. In the revenue details then, you'll no longer need to send them a P30 report. They can log in here and there's their employer's monthly return. Documents, you can upload any type of document once it's in PDF format, and you can allocate the employees that should receive that document. You can also send out notifications. If there's something happening within the company, you can just go in and add a notification. So you can group it by category, by date, by priority, or group by alpha there. Okay, so if I go in to add a document there, I can add in whatever I want. So it could be health and safety training. So in effect, Connect is actually, I'm going to say it's training, and priority is high. And I'm going to tell them it's visible from today indefinitely, and I'm going to say health and safety training on the 20th of September. And I'll add the access rule, and it's going to be all employees. So I want to advise them that there's health and safety training, and go in there. And once they're, show the notification in the employees dashboard, so the employees get a notification that this is happening. So it ends up being a HR tool as well, which is, you know, very, very handy. You no longer need to print or email pay slips. They can be sent, they'll be uploaded into the employees portal. All your contracts from employment, company handbooks, everything like that will be in the employees portal. And there's an activity log there as well where you can actually check to see who opened their documents. So if there's a new company handbook or some new section put into the handbook, you want all employees to read it or be made aware of it, you can check to see that they all read the new whatever rule in the document. Okay, and in the settings then, you can add in your company logo. In here in the employer details, you'll put in the contact details of the company or the whoever is administering the payroll, and your company logo. Okay, back into ABC Limited here, my apologies. Yeah, so in the settings then you can literally put in whatever logo you want. In the employee self-service, if you don't want employees to request annual leave, you can switch it off, and if you don't want them to update their personal details. That can be switched off. They can still access all their payroll documentation, etc. But it is very handy to be able to manage your annual leave online. Right, in here, in the settings tab again, with the employee self-service, okay. So in here, when you're setting it up, these are the employee notifications. So you're going to enable payslips, P60s, P45s, and you'll pop in your signature. So these are the employees, they will receive a notification that these are going to be made available to them. They'll get their invitation to log in, and thereafter they'll be able to access all their payroll. Okay, so once again, the advantages of the cloud, or the advantages of Connect as we call it, are the backup, the safe and secure backup to the cloud. So if you had a PC crash, you know you'll be able to restore down your payroll at any time. The employee self-service, where the employees can log into the smartphone, PC, tablet or Mac and access all their payroll documentation. It saves a huge amount of time printing an email payslips or getting phone calls to say that they've lost their payslips or they didn't receive their email payslip. They'll be able to log in to their portal, and they'll always be able to manage their own account. So that's invaluable, really. If we go into the users, then you can add as many users as you wish, and you can decide which type of user they're going to be. So the administrator has full control over the Thesaurus Connect account, and they'll have the ability to edit account settings. They can add other users, they can redeem purchase codes, they can link employers, and they can manage all employer and employee information and processes. So really you would be the administrator if, say, you're in the bureau and you're linking companies to Connect, and you can pick and choose the level of access each user has. Okay, so why would you have multiple users? Well, it'll depend on the business. So if you're an accountant, bookkeeper or payroll bureau and you manage payroll for multiple clients, you may wish to add your colleagues in the bureau or in the payroll department as co-administrators, and add a contact, i.e. the business owner, from each of your customers as a standard user. So you could have administrators within the payroll bureau, the accountancy firm, and then you can add the client as a standard user, so they'll be able to log in and access the payroll data. Obviously, as I said earlier, they cannot change anything on the payroll. If you're a single employer, you can add colleagues, like you might want to add the HR department, and they may just want to sign off on the annual leave. So if we have different types of users here, so I'm going to add a standard user. Go in here now, it'll come up now in 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to invite a new user, and I'm going to call her Mary Jane, yeah, and Smith, and her email address. And I'll just confirm the email address here. This is how you set up your user. Now, you can pick and choose the companies that Mary is going to access. So we'll just say she owns ABC Limited. So Mary can view employees marked as confidential. She can view the employee documents, financial information, and she can approve employee requests. Now we could set up another user and they have no access to anything, maybe a line manager. They have no access to anything except to approve employee requests. So you can split it out like that, and we'll say Mary's HR, so she can only approve employee requests, or she's a line manager. So you can pick and choose the type of access that a particular user will be, and you can decide whether they're a standard user or an administrator. So that's a standard user. Now Mary will receive the email and she'll be set up, and thereafter she'll be able to, all the holiday requests will go to her. She'll get a notification, she'll go in, sign in, and sign off on the holiday requests, and that syncs back to the live software. So in the settings then, you'll just, if you're a bureau, you can put in your own branding there, the bureau logo, and the contact details within the bureau of whoever is the administrator there. So when the employee logs in, they'll either see your branding or, if you prefer, your client's branding. And in here you have your support console, and you can just send in a request to support, whether you're a bureau or employer. Right, just to go back here now, if you bear me a second, I'll go back into the cloud again. So just say the payroll is backing up. When you've opened up the payroll and it's linked to Connect, it's backing up every 15 minutes when it's open, and once again when you're closing out. However, if within that 15-minute period you want to manually synchronize, you can literally synchronize manually here. Otherwise, once it's opened and it's linked to Connect, it's backing up there for you. So it's a really simple HR tool, a backup tool, and an employee self-service tool, and a great way of sharing data with your clients. So you purchase a license key, you input the license key, and then you literally connect your company. Thereafter, you can add your users and decide who's going to have access to this, be it a client, and within the clients, they can also set up other users, i.e. maybe line managers or the HR department, depending on what level of access you'd like that user to have. So the benefits of Connect is the safe and secure backup to the cloud, the ability to restore down data if you had a data crash, being able to advise your clients that from whenever you purchase it, their payroll data is in a safe and secure location. And with the advent of GDPR, they will be advised by the Data Protection Commission to check to see where their payroll data has been stored. And as I said earlier, we use Microsoft Azure as our data center. Then the employee self-service is self-evident, where they can log on to their PC, phone, tablet, Mac, and access all their payroll-related documentation, be it their payslips, P45, P60s, and any contracts of employment or any HR-related documentation can be all there in their own portal. And obviously the means of sending out notifications for the company about any upcoming events. Safe and secure backup, and the ability to share data with clients. So it's really threefold: the employees, for the bureaus sharing data with clients, and knowing that your payroll is in a safe and secure location. Now, some of you may have received licenses already for Connect, and you can go ahead and start using them. I will also be, when I come off the phone, I will be calling each one, or sorry, off the demo, I'll be calling each one of you, and I'll address any questions you may have. And I will send you on some documentation, you know, the benefits, getting your clients on board, the benefits of Connect, and also a very quick video that you can send to clients as well, just giving them an overview of how valuable Connect can be for them as your client. So I will be calling each one of you in the next few minutes. So have your questions ready for me, and I'll talk to you all shortly. And if there's any other questions you have, I'll be able to share some screens with you. So very quick webinar today. So thank you all for joining me, and I'll talk to you all shortly. Thank you, and bye-bye.